Did you know that the smaller that your how is and the bigger that your why is, you literally increase your chances for success and the money that you can make exponentially? I would argue with anyone who says that the how of starting a business, launching a business, growing a business is more important than the why. When you have purposely set your mind on a goal and you know exactly why you're doing it, you absolutely become unstoppable. I have seen this over and over again in my own life. I've seen it in the lives of those that I've mentored and also in the lives of very successful entrepreneurs. We hear these stories all the time that their why was so big that the how didn't matter. They just did what needed to be done. It reminds me of like these stories that we see all the time, right? So mom gets trapped under a car and a group of teenagers or a group of individuals like literally lift a car off of a woman, okay? A car. And it's fascinating because in different circumstances, that same group of individuals may not be able to lift that car. And so it makes me think about entrepreneurship and the building of multi-million and billion-dollar companies and how they learn to just do, right? We learn to do what is necessary to get the job done. And with the clarity of vision and the why, the how is irrelevant. And so most of the companies that you see, most of the companies that you are impressed with, if you had a chance to sit down with the visionary, the CEO, I would venture to say that most of them had no idea how things were going to happen. They just knew why. So even in my own journey, like I faced so much uncertainty when I first started my first business. I was 26 years old, trying to be a parent, a primary parent. I was a nurse at the time. And so I had every reason, no business experience, no business degree, no education in starting a business. And so all of those things seemed like they would have worked against me. But my why was so significant. My why was like ginormous because I wanted more time with my child, with my son. I wanted more income. I didn't want my income to be capped. And I wanted to be able to take vacations when I needed to or wanted to take vacations. And so that why was so significant that at every turn, I just figured out how, right? And not the how that laid out all the steps from now until 10 years and over planning, which really honestly just limits flexibility, but the how that let me just put one foot in front of the other. And I know that I'm not alone in this, right? And so now I have the advantage of perspective, being almost 20 years in the same industry, 20 years as an entrepreneur, and seeing the results of embracing that uncertainty and always reflecting on the why, which has continued to evolve over the years. And so I want you to just sit back and think about some of these iconic brands and how they've evolved over time and they have embraced the change and uncertainty as well. Like their success was not built on knowing how, knowing from the start what is going to happen day after day, right? Because here is the thing that I cannot stress enough. The minute you develop a plan and then you get thrown a curveball, you need another plan. You need another plan. And so there's always going to be a gap. And so we've got to be willing to have that flexibility. And it's essential to understand that you don't have to have all the answers when you start. I'm going to say that again. You do not have to have all the answers when you start. And if any entrepreneur has told you that, they have not told you the truth. If you did have all the answers, some unforeseen thing would happen and you would need new answers. And so here is where the real magic lies for you. The real magic lies in you defining what your why is And whether you're a new entrepreneur, a high level entrepreneur, always being willing to go back and reevaluate that why. Because it's in the vital moments on your journey when you feel like giving up, the how will always feel like unattainable, insurmountable. But if you know the why, you will keep going. And you'll wonder about your options, right? You'll explore options. And so this is me saying to you that the more you lean into the why, and I'm also not saying, so let's be clear, let's clarify. I am also not saying that you shouldn't know somehow. I just don't think it has as much credibility as people think. And again, I've seen it time and time again. So it is your why that will anchor you during any storm, during different seasons of finances, right? During different, just the course of business. It's your why that keeps you going. Okay. And so I want to share this with you. So most of us will give up on the how if we knew it all up front. I found it really, I have not seen a lot of people give up on their why. The why has literally, for successful people, the why has been their guiding star. And so today, this is just a message for you if you're waiting for the perfect plan, if you are like sitting around craving definition and clarity, and I need to know how, and I want all the steps outlined. I want you to know that action is what has continually revealed my plan. Yes, I believe in blueprints. I believe in shortcuts. I believe in connecting. I believe in acceleration, but it makes sense when you know what your why is. So the why is like the lever on a Las Vegas casino machine. If your why is big enough, you're going to keep going and going and going, and that becomes non-negotiable. So think about your why, think about your non-negotiables, and allow that why and your action to be the drivers for your success.